Hello, I'm Kevin Church, and this month for August 2020, we have Boonie Bevins with us as our MUFIC Songwriter of the Month. Hey, Boonie, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are
Good.
you doing?
Great. It's good to see you. We're glad to have you. So we're just going to dig a little bit and ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
So, do you come from a musical family?
Yes.
All right. Tell us about that.
All right. So my dad plays music. My two older sisters, twin brothers, sisters. Pretty much, kind of everyone plays music. But it's always been around just as I've been growing up, and I'm super grateful to kind of be a part of that.
So, out of all that talent, what was your first influences? Like what did you listen to growing up?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Nickel Creek, kind of like some bluegrass influence. When I was really young, that's like the first thing I can think of hearing. And I feel like that's continued to be an influence throughout my whole life. So I would definitely say, Nickel Creek, sort of like acoustic, sort of folky sort of style.
Right. I can hear that in your music. I mean, I see that that's your passion. And that's really cool. So when did you start writing songs?
When I was about 13, I did this talent show for our homeschool group, and it was kind of like the first time I sang in front of people. I mean, except for when I was really, really young. And I wanted to do it, and I told Lauren, my older sister, that I wanted to do it, and she said she would back me up, and we actually wrote a song together, and that was the first song that I ever wrote, and that was kind of what started the songwriting process for me. So since I was about 13 or so.
Very cool. So we have to ask you, how did you come across the name Boonie? How did that happen?
Yeah, I always get this question, but it was when I was just a baby. I feel like my family just gives everything a nickname, but there was a character in a Berenstain Bears book called Babs Bruno, and somehow it turned into Boonie, and they just called me that. And
Kind of short.
It really, yeah,
Shortened
it just
version of
really
that.
stuck, and I'm really attached to it. When people call me by my given name, which is Alison, I'm kind of like, what,
Right.
But I love going by Boonie, so.
Well, we're glad to have Boonie Bevins on today.
Yeah, well, I'm grateful to be here.
So tell us more. Okay, so when you were 13 and you'd written your first song, I'm backtracking a little bit, but I want to make sure I got that Boonie question in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
So as we're backtracking, when you were 13 and you wrote your first song and you performed it at the talent show, how did that feel?
It felt great, actually. I mean, I was super nervous, and I feel
Sure.
like I always get nervous over everything, but
Right.
since that was sort of that first time kind of being out in front of people, it was really scary, but it was kind of rewarding because I ended up winning the talent show.
Oh, you want? Oh,
Yeah.
See, I'm glad I asked this question because
Yeah.
now we're getting to the point where you won the contest. That's pretty awesome. So by winning the contest and by getting over your fear by
Yeah.
singing in front of people, a song you co-wrote
Yeah.
or wrote, if you want to,
Co-wrote, yeah.
with Lauren. Tell me, like that started it, right? That
Yeah, it
ignited
was
the
just
fire
kind of
to
like
do more.
validating a little bit, just thinking, oh, I actually can do this. And
That's so
like
cool.
people kind of respond to,
Taco says, "Yes, you can."
yeah.
So, Taco,
He wants to be a part of it.
yeah, he does that from time to time.
It's okay. He's cute. Okay, come on.
All right. So we've discussed your influences. The fire is set at 13. You wrote your first song. You performed it in front of people, and you won a contest singing your first song.
Yeah.
You're on the road to stardom.
Yeah.
So where are we heading with this? And now you're playing an interesting instrument. Tell me about that.
So the octave mandolin.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a mandolin. It has a little bit of a bigger body, like sort of like a guitar body. The one that I have is an arch top. So it was sort of modeled after Martin's arch top guitar. That was kind of where that came from, and So it has sort of that like low end of what a guitar has, but sort of the pop of a mandolin. The strings are tuned an octave below a regular mandolin, so it can accompany singing, which is, you know, what I really wanted it for.
That's really awesome. I mean, considering the mandolin has such, it's such a beautiful instrument, but it's limited in its own right too, when it comes to the frequency range that you want to hit. And I love that idea. So what else do you play? Like what other instruments?
I play guitar and then ukulele. I got into playing ukulele when I was like 16 or something. And I started incorporating that and wrote some songs on that. And I played the guitar since I was like 15, but it was always just to sort of be able to write my own songs and just accompany myself. And then with the octave mandolin, I feel like I'm starting to really like grow as a musician and, you know, work on playing lead and stuff like that. So I feel like that kind of that opened the door a little bit more to kind of grow as a musician and not just a vocalist.
I can see that, and it's very interesting and very tasteful what you're doing. So
thank you.
It's really, it's unique too.
Thanks.
That's really awesome. So, do you write songs because you have to write them or because you want to write them?
I don't feel like I have to write anything, but I always want to. Like I feel like I'm constantly, you know, consuming music and, you know, finding inspiration, and that just makes me want to write songs. You know, I think listening to like really, you know, good quality music that it, you know, is about something, you know, can really help to inspire. At least I feel inspired by, you know, a lot of the music that I listen to.
Right. Well,
and that makes me want to make my own, you know.
Right. Well, if you don't listen to something that inspires you, do you just move on to something else?
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
like, oh, that was nice, but let's move on to something else. Yeah, I get it. And not to be judgmental at all.
Oh, yeah.
Just to say, like, hey, that didn't really do anything for me. I'm not listening to this like 100 times over. You know?
And like I feel like that's the great thing about music, that, you know, it's art and it's very, you know, subjective, and like some people respond to certain things, and you know. I mean, I feel like I get really like obsessed if I find something I like I just listen to it over.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like I dissect it, listen to it, go, wow, that's amazing to me. Okay, so today when we are performing the song, you're going to use this octave mandolin, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's going to be great. And what song are we doing today?
This song is called Grow Up.
Tell us about that.
So just, you know, recently in my life, I just got engaged. And
congratulations.
Thank you. But I'm going to, you know, just be moving out of the house. So it's just kind of about growing up and sort of moving on with your life, and also about, you know, trying to find stillness in like moments of sort of chaos. Like it's pretty crazy just in the world today, and sometimes it's hard to find those quiet moments and that, you know, that stillness inside. So it's kind of about that, and just about, you know, growing up, which I'm having a hard time doing, but you know.
We all do.
Yeah.
We still do. I think everyone does. But the stillness, I love that idea. I didn't know that you were reaching for that with this song. That's really cool.
I think in the second verse it kind of says that a little bit.
So tell me about that. Where does it say? What are you?
In the second verse it says, sometimes it's hard to find stillness inside, but I'm gonna stay right here and like never disappear. So it's just kind of like, you know.
Wanted to make sure we heard that.
Yeah. Okay.
So awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it is hard to find the stillness, especially when we're bombarded with all the information we are every day. So it's nice to hear you sing about that.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe we will find it.
Yeah.
Boonie Bevins, everybody.
Yesterday is gone. disappear.